Hello everyone, this is another round table thing for a movie that came out recently. This time it's just me and Dwibs,
Mhm.
and it's about the Magnificent Seven remake.
Which was
Dwibs,
the
your
yeah
yeah, technical details first.
yeah. This is the third version. Okay, the third film version of the
Tale, because the very original was a movie called Seven Samurai from legendary filmmaker Akira Kurosawa. Then, a 1960 version of Hollywood came out, made by John Sturges, called The Magnificent Seven, and now this one made by this Antoine Fuqua.
and Antoine Fuqua. You might know him for stuff like Training Day and Olympus Has Fallen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, anyway, as for the Magnificent Seven themselves, quite a list
Well,
here.
okay. First, the premise, because everyone, I mean, does it compare? Does it compare to the original first two movies? Absolutely not. But is it still enjoyable as a movie on its own? On its own, I think so. But consider that between me and Dwibs, at least for the moment, because Dwibs has recently bought the 1960s version, I saw the other two versions of the movie, and I say obviously this is not the better version, but it's still solid on its own, despite having its share of flaws. Anyway, go
Anyway,
on, Dwibs.
the actual Magnificent Seven themselves are Denzel Washington,
No need to explain. Yeah,
Chris Pratt,
yeah, that too.
Ethan Hawke,
hmm
Vincent D'Onofrio,
Which you may remember from Full Metal Jacket.
and Daredevil, Jurassic World,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Blah. Byung Hun Lee,
That I don't know because Chinese actors. Let me
mm,
check.
also Manuel Garcia Rolfo, and
hmm
Martin Sensmeyer, and Teo, guess what?
Yeah.
For the first time in I think a while on a big budget modern western, they actually got a Native American guy to play a Native American.
Yay! At least there's no whitewashing in this case.
Yeah, they didn't just paint Johnny Depp.
Yeah, and that's a topic for another day. Anyway, for those who don't know the story, because it's pretty much the same in all the media, the story of Magnificent Seven is basically a classic tale of a village being managed by a mafia kind of like figure, like a local boss, which terrorizes everyone with a small army on its own. So the villagers, inspired because they just want to live the fuck on their own, basically assume, basically contact these seven figures that are either outlaws, bounty hunters. These basically the worst that the world can offer, and they contact them and they ask to defend themselves as like vigilantes from this group of mafia, and then there's a battle near the end. The thing is, I watched the other two movies, and while having a lot of actions and storytelling in particular, I think that this one basically it's a western that tries to be a Marvel movie, in a sense that it saw the success of storytelling and the type of pacing the Marvel movie had, and tried to replicate that. Because
Well,
the
even
entire
going
time I
so,
was watching, I say, "Yeah, I'm watching a western version of the Avengers." Clearly,
but and
um,
even hell, even that's I think that's partly why they brought in Chris Pratt.
yeah, probably that too. And if I recall correctly, he's even nominated for an Oscar for this movie. So.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean,
apparently Choice. No, okay, Teen Choice Award, Choice Movie Actor
oh, those kind
anticipated.
of awards, they don't really
I
matter all
don't.
that much.
Well, because the Oscar wherever ever it matters. Anyway,
And this was
but,
the a bit of sad news actually. This was the final film that James Horner ever composed for,
mm, yeah, shame.
and
And it's a shame
and he
also because James Horner was in a very tight spot because the original 60s movie had this very, very memorable soundtrack. So he probably thought himself already that he couldn't never, no matter what he could have done, he could have never top it. So basically, he just stuck to the basis and just made several remixes of the original theme that you can hear throughout all the movie.
and
Anyway,
so because he passed away, they had to get one of his friends, Simon Franklin, completed the rest of the score. And I got to be honest, I never really heard of that other guy.
oh, and another interesting thing, the cinematographer. Is a guy called
Mauro
Mauro
Fiore.
Fiore. Yeah, he worked on Avatar, James Cameron,
Huh.
and the A-Team movie. I
So he
just
works on one crap movie, another movie that I haven't seen, but considering one of the screenwriters, I'm going to assume isn't very good.
yeah. What I would to say, well, the cinematography is not that bad. It's just okay. Anyway,
It's typical Western
okay.
cinematography.
Might as well start recapping the movie. Yeah, spoilers alert, by the way, and everything. Okay, we start the movie, and immediately the first problem to me jumps on. The villain is just as monodimensional and forgettable as any of the Marvel movie villains, aside from Loki, you can ever get. Like, seriously, this guy, it's fun because he's over the top, at least to me, but I know Dwibs doesn't like over the top, so it's probably
Oh
didn't
no no
even
no no! I
like
like
it.
I no. I like over the top. I just don't like it when everyone's like that.
Okay. This Valen is called Bartholomew Bog, I think.
He's played
It's
by Peter
Peter
Sarsgaard.
Sark. And he's, again, it's multidimensional as fuck. He literally comes in the scene, says two words, and starts killing people out of nowhere.
And burning
Like,
down a church
yeah,
because
because we literally ask him why you're doing this, and his response, bullet to the head to the one who asked. Like, seriously, do you want to kick a puppy next?
I think didn't
Seriously.
he like oh no, I don't think he killed any children or anything.
No. And this established because the wife
The
of
guy
the
who got
people
shot.
yeah, the wife becomes a central figure and the one who recruit the Magnificent Seven. And I swear to God, gonna call her for this entire perspective discount Ellen Page because she looks so much like Ellen Page when I watch this movie. Then I had to
Haley Bennett.
yeah, and it's
Oh.
like, really? She's not there, but whatever. These red, and by the way, she's a natural red. Anyway, okay, so we cut away to a completely different place because remember, this town is managed by this guy, but then we move to a completely different place, and we saw basically Chris Pratt playing basically your stereotypical Irish guy. He's drunk. He drinks a lot. He
Yeah.
swears. He's over the top. He's a dirty cheater at
So
cards.
basically, he's playing a Western version of Star Lord.
Pretty much. It's literally Chris Pratt in a cowboy outfit. You cannot go wrong
Yeah,
here.
I think the only time where he didn't play someone like that, as far as I recall at least, was Jurassic World.
Yeah, and even then, it's like one of those cases when you see the actor and not really the character is into it. Like
But
it, Robert. Anyway,
didn't we skip over Denzel Washington's character
it,
though?
yeah, because the next thing that happens is that we have this very long shot of Denzel Washington, and it's a very interesting thing of a cinematography here because there are a lot of these shots of Denzel Washington where you cannot see his head, his face, and he's completely entirely covered like in black, in shadow, to symbolize this Black Knight figure, like he's fucking Batman or something. Anyway, yeah, he arrives at this bar where Chris Pratt is also, and we discover quickly that he's a bounty hunter sold by the government. And before you ask Dibs, yes, by the time that in 1879, the date where this movie takes place, the government already assaulted black people to do vigilante work. So historically, it's actually accurate.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, he's a bounty hunter. He basically does a bit of a Pulp Fiction moment where he kills the bartender because he was a criminal, and then he just tugs away when he scares off the bar. So Chris Pratt takes all his money.
I will say the scene where he kills the I'll be honest. That's actually one of my favorite scenes in the movie because I thought it was just gonna be the bartender's just protecting the criminal or something because they're mates or something, but no, the criminal was the bartender.
What a twist! Anyway,
Who I think he is, Shyamalan.
okay, then Denzel Washington comes off. He demonstrates that he's employed by the government. We get another scene with Chris Pratt when he just fools two criminals with a magic card trick, which is just to establish the fact that he's a cheater and everything. And when we finally start to bring in together the group, Haley Van discount Ellen Page, contacts Denzel Washington, and offers to him literally everything they have. We don't know how much it is. It's kind of like the case from Pulp Fiction. We don't know what's inside, but
My guess is some jewels and stuff.
Well, you have to remember the town that is managed by Boog is still a mining town of gold. It could have been actually actual gold. Um, However, he ponders for a while, especially after he hears the name. Then he accepts, and using a very old trick excuse, he recruits Chris Pratt, basically buying his horse. Chris Pratt don't really have a reason of joining the group, aside from the fact that it's clear established that he kind of admires Denzel Washington's character. So I thought it was kind of like that the reason he tags along. Anyway.
Right.
So when they start, immediately though they have to split up because this Counter page is accompanied by her cousin, brother, I think,
Friend.
basically another resident of the town. And so Denzel Washington asks them to split. Him and Ellen Page will go to recruit a person Denzel knew, while Chris Pratt and the other guy will go recruit another people still Denzel knew. Basically, a lot of the people of this group
People know other people, yeah.
Yeah, but basically Denzel Washington knows all of these people that we want to get. So first we follow Denzel Washington and Page. It's really, a really quick scene. They just come across this hut that is clearly abandoned because there's a corpse inside. There are, larves and everything. And then they meet, I forgot the name of the actor, basically a Mexican, which plays your...
The Mexican is called Vasquez, and he's played by Manuel Garcia Rolfo.
Okay. Basically, he's your stereotypical Mexican. He swears, he chugs a cigar, he plays dirty, and basically an outlaw. And Denzel Washington recruits him by saying that he's gonna close an eye on him. But it's pretty quick. Meanwhile, Chris Pratt and the other guy go to recruit. I think it's called Goodnight.
Goodnight Robichaux, played by
Ethan Hawke. But what you don't know,
AKA that guy who was in such memorable films as Getaway.
Yeah. What we don't know is that Goodnight has an affiliate, literally a Chinese assassin, which is your stereotypical Chinese guy you've ever seen in an action movie, because he's silent, he's always serious, he's a master of throwing knives. Seriously, it's like hitting a checklist.
Although his name's a bit odd, though. I mean, I thought they called
Billy
him
Rocks.
Yeah, he's called Billy Rocks. I thought they called him something like I don't know.
Well, here's the thing:
Jackie Chuck or something.
When Chris Pratt's character asks the backstory, they give away kind of a confusing one, kind of like the Joker in the DC universe. So we don't really know the story behind their relationship. We know there's a really strong bond between them, romance, but we don't know what happened if Goodnight was ever like in China, or could or Billy just came to America and changed his name to change his way. We know that he suffers from racism, so Goodnight acts as a defender of him, and in exchange, Billy wins every single duel because he's fucking OP and gives him money.
Also, can I say this next bit?
Sure.
Also, I think wasn't it Washington that went off to that little house to talk to these two guys?
What? Sorry, can you repeat that?
There's a scene where I think it was either Washington's group or Chris Pratt's group who go off to talk to these two brothers.
No. The two groups get back together, and then we go to recruit the next two members. Basically, first we stumbled in this hut, which is owned by these two brothers, the Pigeon brothers, I think they're called, and they serve nothing as to introduce the next character because they got killed immediately.
They got killed by Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio, which acts as this. It's pretty much a David Crockett ex-spy.
Yeah, he knows exactly where and how to find people, and basically, those people killed. I think they killed his family, didn't they?
Yeah. He's basically a hunter with the Vengeance Group, and he was also a hunter of natives because he collects their scalps. And basically, it's a good shooter, but he's a bit of a nutcracker because and he's very obsessed with the Bible also because he quotes the Bible every 5 seconds. And then we have the next edition, which is the most baffling one because some of these guys had weird reason to tag along, but this guy is the worst in case. Basically, the group is resting at a bonfire at night, which is fine. Then the next morning, when they woke up, they're on alert because I think the Vincent D'Onofrio's character spots someone coming, so everyone is on alert, and we see this Indian Native American coming, a Comanche, I
Red
think, warrior.
Harvest.
Yeah, which is called itself Red Harvest, played by Martin Selsmer. um, Denzel Washington's character go talk to him. This native has like already captures a deer. He's holding it on his horse. Denzel Washington character starts talking to him, and for some reason knows the language of Native Americans because why not?
Hmm.
They talk for a bit. We know what they're talking about because there are subtitles. Basically,
Oh,
it's
God.
just a simple exchange. Do you know my language? Yes, no, etc. Then the native drops the deer, um, starts cutting it, and offers as a sign of friendship an organ. I think it's the liver or a lung to Denzel Washington to eat. Reminded me a lot of Game of Thrones, and you can really see the face of Denzel like, mutating as he has to eat this living organ. It's
Yeah.
terrible. And basically, and that's it. Then the Indian just tags along with the group. Why? Because Denzel says he has a vengeance against someone or something. So it's the perfect candidate. But
And
that's it. He just
I
tags along.
okay. Could you imagine if he tried doing that in modern times? You know, as an offer of appreciation, I will share this dead deer with you.
Other times, Dwibs. Anyway, when the whole group formed, plus of course Discount Ellen Page and her acquaintance from still the town. Finally, the group reaches the village, and the first thing they do, obviously, is to clean the place from all the men that Bartholomew Bog just left in the place, because obviously he was in control, so we left some men, and we need to kill them all. And here is what they establish an interesting thing, but I honestly don't think no one ever did in a Western movie, at least. They establish that Goodnight has PTSD because he was
He's,
a Confederate.
Yeah.
He was a Confederate from the Civil War, and apparently, despite him being a really good sniper with long shots,
Yeah.
he really suffers from PTSD, and that really caught me by
Yeah,
surprise.
and other than the ending, other than like, the final act, the only time he really shoots his gun is during the target practice he has when he's teaching the villagers how to fight.
Yeah, because basically that's what happens after they clear the village, the village from the people, the Bartholomew guards. The villagers come out under the request of Discount Ellen Page, and basically they start organizing a defense, especially because they don't have much time because Bartholomew is in Sacramento, I think, basically doing his own business. So they know he's gonna come really fast once he knows the news that someone else, killed his own man. So we basically you get to the next part is basically a huge training montage of the villagers getting ready, preparing defenses and everything. But in the meantime, we also get a brief scene, of course, of Bartholomew getting informed, and when we met basically the two in command, the two second in commands of his army, an Indian called Mr. Liveri, something like that.
Mr. Somebody.
Yeah. So, and another guy, which I swear I don't even think it's ever mentioned, but it's played by the actor who played Sabretooth in the X-Men movies.
Wasn't there like a different? Do you mean the one from the? Wait, isn't that someone else? Isn't it?
I don't know. I'll check in the meantime. But in the meantime, yes, we meet these two characters also that function every second in command, and Bartholomew immediately starts organizing his quote unquote army to get back the city. So we get also all these montage, which also serves as way to establish the characters, giving more characterization and everything. And I'm glad on one thing, because I really thought that this movie was gonna do a very low move, and having Chris Pratt's character trying to have a romantic story with Discount Ellen Page, which reminder is still a widow at this point, or a very recent widow. But thankfully they never go there. The closest thing we get is him teaching her how to shoot or something, but it's a 2-minute scene and goes absolutely nowhere.
In a film that in a film where the biggest criticism levied at it is it's a bit of a cliche written movie. It's a bit surprising that they don't go for the whole we falls in love with this guy because he's Chris Pratt / other attractive actor.
Yeah, I'm
Storyline.
actually was surprised and in a good way, so bonus points for that. Anyway, basically the night before they have the fight, Ethan Hawke continues suffering from PTSD. So basically, he tells Denzel Washington that he cannot do this and just runs away. But obviously, I mean, me at least, I didn't buy it for a second. Yeah, he's gonna do that. He's gonna come back in the climax and all that shit.
You don't. I mean, come on. You don't get Ethan Hawke and just have him run off.
Yeah. But anyway, and then you had also this funny moment where he just ran off. Denzel Washington asked the others guys if they want to run away, but everyone says, "Nah, I want to stay." Then you get this like 10 seconds of silence, and then the Indian, which by the way, up until the moment spoke only his language, starts speaking English and said, "I'm hungry." And everyone was like, "So you could speak, you motherfucker," or something like that. So, but yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tease, though. I mean, sorry, that's my phone. Anyway, it's a bit of a tease because, I mean, so he can speak English all the time, and yet he decided to be a prick to everyone else who doesn't speak Indian.
Yeah, and whatever. It was funny, at least for the moment, especially because most of his character was in true Native American fashion. It was spoken through body language. He didn't gesticulate, but the way he moved, the way he acted in battle too, really spoke for him in true fashion of Native American, because that's kind of the way they did back in the day, especially because most of the native languages are really complex.
So what you're saying, Teo, is that unlike what the Lone Ranger would have us believe, they don't wear birds on their heads, and they don't speak like they miss word, like they missing words in a sentence.
Yeah. Anyway, and then the day of battle arrives, obviously, and
after quite I was surprised there was quite a lengthy bit of them teaching the villagers how to fight, because we're not at that bit yet.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Did we get to the bit where they're teaching the villagers how to fight yet? Or
no, basically it was during the montage.
It's the first battle they had with him.
Hmm?
You know about the first battle they had with him and his cronies?
Yeah, the one when they cleaned the village first before teaching the others. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and is that the scene where where Ethan Hawke's PTSD strikes again?
Yeah, because during that battle, everyone scored, and they even say during the fight, after they cleaned up, Chris Pratt say, "Oh, I scored 7. Oh, I scored 6." And we saw that clearly. Ethan Hawke couldn't hit no one. He was just scared shit because of his PTSD.
Yeah,
and of course,
I'll be honest though. If I were in charge of that, I just have honestly, if any of you have like PTSD or something. Because we just recently had a Confederate war, just go and pie with the others or something, because you're not going to be doing any good. All you're going to do is get yourself killed.
Well, that's the thing. Denzel Washington was convinced he could have come, because remember, they know each other. If Denzel Washington was convinced Ethan Hawke's character could have came over his problem.
But it's not that easy.
Yeah, it's never. It's a psychological issue. Anyway, the day of the battle finally arrives, and basically, they have prepared several defenses using dynamite from the gold mine that was near the town, barricades, and all you can imagine.
Yeah.
And at first, the battle really goes well. Honestly, there are casualties between the. What's the name? Between the villagers, yeah, obviously, but they really kill almost all the army almost immediately, and also the one of the two lieutenants, the one played by Sabretooth, the Sabretooth, I think, the Sabretooth guy,
Hmm.
is almost killed almost immediately by the Mexican. I was really shocked with the fact that he went down really easily, and he
Yeah.
has this goofy dive scene where he just gets pummeled into I forgot the name, a dead man's chest. Yeah, um, basically, and but then
Then it all
just
starts
as
going to go to shit.
well, yeah. First of all, the first one who dies, because shockingly enough, some of seven MSC7 dies. The first one to die is Vincent D'Onofrio because he gets killed by the enemy Indian guy, Mr.
Yeah.
Denali.
Although he had one of those,
It's,
deaths
it's
where
literally Boromir's death. He gets pummeled
yes.
with arrows, and he still can get down.
Okay, I swear,
It's amazing.
is Vincent D'Onofrio trying to out deaf
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean? I mean, considering Sean Bean didn't die in a movie at all last year.
Yeah, basically gets killed first. But like 5 minutes later, I think, um, we get a scene where the same Indian Denali finds the place where Discount Ellen Page is also shooting down
And
the others,
hiding.
hiding and shooting. So, but the thing is, she doesn't have any more bullets, so she cannot kill him. However, Red Harvest sneaks behind, and he absolutely wreck the guy. Like immediately, he just tells him, "Yo, you're a traitor," and then like 5 stabs and it's over. The guy doesn't even have a single chance.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think it was a little bit
They
disappointing. Actually, you
kind
have
of hyped
two
up
rival.
his encounter, Indian versus Indian, and it's also another thing that I'll say more later, but just a bit spoiler warning ahead. Red Harvest doesn't get injured at all in the fight, in the fight in
Because
general.
yeah, it's a bit. It's like you were saying though. Indian tribe member versus a rival Indian tribe member. That could have been a good fight, but no, it's just a curb stomp battle.
Yeah, there's absolutely zero chance. 5 stabs and it's over. I get what we try to symbolize, the fact that Red Harvest is
Mm.
more in tune with his nature, while Denali was a solo to the white man, because he also wears an U.S. Army jacket
Right.
to symbolize that he lost his own identity or something. But still, waste of potential. Anyway, that now everything starts going to shit, because the moment Ethan Hawke comes back, he warns everyone else that the enemy has a fucking Gatling gun, which, but for the time being, it was basically like a nuclear bomb. It could exterminate everyone from a long
Yeah,
distance.
it wrecks the village, and it even I think it gets one. I think that got one of the Activision 7 killed, didn't it?
First, it injures the Mexican on a shoulder
Yeah.
at first, but then Ethan and the Chinese guy starts trying to shoot back, because they go to the remains of a church tower where was the bell, and try to snipe everyone, because Chris Pratt in the meantime tries to um, do some defensive maneuver and trying to get the Gatling on its own. However, he gets chased, but Ethan and the Chinese starts destroying the people who are following him. However, Bartholomew Boog sees this and say, "Okay, Gatling operator, shoot where's the bell tower." And of course, this completely destroys the two. And they really don't have an honorable death. It's really realistic in how brutal it is.
Yeah,
But
yeah. They
still,
they just get blown out.
yeah, only the Chinese guy has like 5 seconds to say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and everything. It's a shame, because I wanted the Chinese guy to survive, but what can I do?
Yeah.
However, then the thing that I wasn't expecting at all happens. Chris Pratt reaches the Gatling, but gets really shot by everyone. And he's really on his dead knee. You say, "Oh, he's going to die like that. He's going to die like that." But
Well,
then he does an awesome trick where he wants his last smoke, and
right.
then he like fakes dying, but immediately again gets up because he has ignited
A TNT.
a dynamite candle, yeah, and he blows everyone, including himself, up.
Yeah.
I really wasn't expecting Chris Pratt's character to die, but
Yeah. I mean,
it was at least it was a fun way to die, and was effective during the battle.
also, yeah, because another thing that is a little bit irritating is that when you have a white hot actor at the moment, And by that I mean a guy who does have a good habit of helping bring audiences in. You'd think he'd survive the whole movie, but no.
Mm. Well, you have to keep in mind, though, Dwibs, that in all iteration of the story is a good chunk of seven people die actually. So
Right.
it's common for having
And
casualties.
then
And
that
then we reach basically the final part,
the final
where
showdown
basically
between
the final show, because basically the army has been completely annihilated. The villagers, while survived, were still very injured, and we get
and
basic.
and also the kids had to evacuate from their place because during one of the shootouts,
Yeah, the building started to burn, so Denzel Washington had to
get them
um,
out of there.
get all the woman and child safely.
Mm.
And here's another thing: Denzel Washington doesn't get injured at all during the whole fight, but
So
whatever.
basically, in order to survive the movie, you have to be a Native American
Or black,
or an African American.
yeah.
Or
But
or, or,
basically,
or,
yeah,
or hell, just be Denzel Washington. Has there ever been a movie
yeah.
where he's died?
Well, couple, but I'll to get back. Anyway, we come to the final part of the movie, and the villain, being more dimensional as he is, does the very stupid thing of getting in the city basically on his own because he sends only two more henchmen, which at this point doesn't stand a chance at all against
Okay.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
And then basically, Denzel Washington pretty much starts toying with the villain because he really too doesn't have a chance. They start having the classic Western duel, but it quickly shows that Denzel Washington has the upper hand. So basically, Bog starts retreating like the coward that he is into the same church where he started
Yeah.
the movie. And then we get the big quote unquote twist that Denzel Washington is doing this, his motivation is because he basically was a victim along with his whole family and village, I guess, from Bog's man from a whole year back. And he shows that he has like this scar on his neck because he was hanged
Yeah.
and he survived for some reason.
Yeah, that bit reminded me a lot of Django Unchained, which
Yeah,
was also
basically,
made by Columbia.
basically a whole plot of revenge. So it starts again toying with him. He doesn't know though that Bog has this, last attempt of having a small revolver in his boots, and he doesn't see him. And we get the classic Hollywood fake shot where you think there's one being shot, but when we pan over the camera and we see that
Yeah,
Discount Ellen Page was the one shooting the villain. And I was like, yeah, I actually called it because the instant it was established that Discount Ellen Page was the wife of the person shot by the villain. I was like, yeah, she's gonna do the final coup de grace
yeah.
thing.
It's also a bit weird. I mean, she said she sought righteousness, and then she said with a bit of vengeance, and she got vengeance. But what do you want? Do you want righteousness or vengeance? Make up
Well,
your
her
mind.
morality was pretty much really gray, honestly, from the beginning. So,
Yeah,
and
and at
and
the end
that's
we get our
yeah,
we
that's
get
pretty
our
much
roll
we get a
credit scene.
CGI shot of the graves of the people who died. While of course the three survivors, because the Mexican actually survived. The Mexican, the Native American, and Denzel Washington just roll over the town, and the people say thank you, thank you, thank you.
And we
And
get
when
our
you
roll
get to the
credits moment when they literally they
yeah
say magnificent.
yeah with the whole classic main theme from the movie,
Yeah,
and that's pretty much it.
yeah, that's Magnificent 7 2016. And okay, before we go on to final thoughts, there is one thing I should bring up. Most westerns these days, unless they're from Tarantino, have had a really bad time at the box office. Cowboys and Aliens, The Lone
How
Ranger.
did the True Grit remake did?
The True Grit one did fine-ish.
Hmm,
Was that in 2010?
I think so.
Okay, True Grit.
But yeah, anyway, Dwibs is right. The Western genre, ever since it kind of died in the late 70s,
Yeah,
80s,
a lot of studios have tried to resurrect it. Some
with the
pretty grim
difference.
results.
Only Tarantino managed to recapture the spirit, but because he had his own style, he had a more slower pace.
Yeah,
Which fits the genre. But and as I mentioned, instead, this movie tries to be a Marvel movie instead. So the pacing is always fast. You don't have a lot of time for characterization. Some characters don't have a motivation to tag along in this case. And before you mention it, before you realize that it's over. So but
Bam.
it's clearly rushed in a lot of things, and there are some flaws. But at least to me, it's still enjoyable on its own. It's a movie that you can watch and have fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw this movie with a friend of mine, and I'm guessing one of the reasons he saw it because he's a big Chris Pratt fan.
Hmm.
And I thought it was alright. It's one of the better remakes that I've seen. I mean, it's not as good as
Yeah,
say,
in this day and age where everything is getting a remake these days,
yeah,
this one seems really solid.
yeah. I
And I
mean, it's
say
not
that as a
like
person who watched the two original stories.
it's not like this. It's not like the Scarface remake where the difference between the two, at least in my opinion, is night and day. Honestly,
Hmm.
yeah, 83 is the best one. But you know, and this one on its own, and I can judge it more on its own because I haven't seen the other two. I thought it was a decent. It was a decent flick, if not all that great. But after watching The Lone Ranger, which was shite, this was a
Yeah.
breath of fresh air. And this is also something considering this is the guy that made Olympus Has Fallen.
Hmm.
Another decent film, but is this what? I wonder if this is what Antoine Fuqua's thing is. He makes decent movies.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's all for us. Go see the movie if you haven't now.
And then we'll see
So,
you for the eventual movie commentary of this, where we should hopefully have more than just us two.
all right. See ya.
See ya.